Well, those are largely state issues, of course, but from a federal level, I think the overarching problem is that the feds are too involved in all that. I think, particularly with K through 12 education, we have bureaucrats in Washington who are trying to make decisions and issue mandates for teachers on the local level. I think the closer that you can return those decisions and that control to the locals, the better off you are. I think the idea that Common Core, for example, in principle sounded like a great idea a decade ago or whenever it was conceived. But what was the problem with it is that it got commandeered by special interest and politicians in Washington, and they turned it into something it was never intended to be. So it's been a good trend, in my view, that some of that control is being pulled back to the state level, where it belongs, and that we need to rely on our teachers and career educators who know what they're doing. And my wife's a former teacher. She's been a stay-at-home mom because we have 4 kids for a while, but she taught in the Blue Ribbon. She taught at Shreve Island Elementary here in Shreveport, and at a number of other schools, and private and public education. And she and her colleagues, they know what works in the classroom, so they're the ones that need to be helping to drive that agenda instead of politicians in Washington. I think that's part of the problem. In terms of the university system, as we all know, we're in a funding crisis. I'm an advocate of a couple of different types of I think our technical colleges and our community colleges are doing it, particularly up here in our area, doing a great job. And they're serving as a great model for the larger flagship universities because they seem to be more able to adapt and move and change and create new programs and respond to needs in the community, and that's a big help. BIPSI is our crown jewel in Bossier because they've been able to innovate and because they have more freedom to do it, I think, and they've shown how to do it and make the numbers work. The university system, we could talk all afternoon about all this. I know all of us could, but we just simply have too many four-year colleges in the state. At some point, there has to be some real discussion about how to fix that problem because it's not a sustainable model. The costs are rising too much, and people can't afford school anymore. And the problem from a state level, the reason we can't afford it is that we're distributing the money on too broad of a basis. So if we could focus more and narrow what it is we're trying to achieve and do on the state level, I think that would be a great discussion and important reform. But again, those are really issues on the state level more than the federal. From the federal level, just in short, I would say they need to pull back and let the state do it better because they know how.